So, Rafael Stone decided to get up off his cheeks and do something. If you've been following me on Twitter/X at AKinfinity_VBS, you know I kind of been a bit of a negative Nancy over the last probably a couple weeks, really. Y'all know my feelings on the Rockets at this point. Just full body work. However, credit where credit is due. Um, if I'm gonna sit there and complain about these dudes just feeling comfortable, not doing nothing at all, not making any moves, just resting on their laurels, I'm gonna give them credit when I see them make an effort and do something I think is a little bit outside of the box. Although the pick was still a little bit safe space, I'm gonna give them credit for trying something here. So the Rockets ended up moving up in the draft from what was the stupid deal? Pick 39 and 57 or whatever the hell it was to pick 31 and 55 or whatever. So they had a trade with New York where they got pick 31, and the other one the other pick that they got from New York, they ended up trading to Detroit. But whatever, I don't care nothing about that. We're here to talk about Bruce Thornton and what my initial thoughts of him are. Did some quick research on him. I didn't really know anything about him before today, but just doing some quick research, watching some quick little highlights. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I do believe I have a okay eye for the game and for individual talent, I think. I'll say this. So let's start from the get-go. 4-year guard, Ohio State, 6'1", 225 pounds, built like an NFL strong safety. He could go play and go back up Jalen Petrie for the Texans right now is what he looked like. the boy, he looked like a tank out there. I saw some people try to give him the Fred VanVleet comp. I think that is absolutely a bad comp. From what I saw, they don't have nothing in common besides size, and that's where it ends. Y'all got to stop comparing people and giving them comps just because of their size and what they look like. That is lazy. But anyway, scouting report on him. By the way, he's 22 right now. He'll be 23 by the time the season starts. So, quick scouting report on him. He looked like he's a certified bucket getter, even at his size. It looked like his size didn't even deter him from making shots. And for all of my spreadsheeters out there, he's efficient. He shot 55% from the field this last season, 82% from the line, 40% from three. He took about 4 attempts a game from three as well. He rebounded pretty decently, pretty good actually for his size and his position. 5.1 a game, 3.9 assists, only 1.1 steals, 0.2 blocks, but whatever. He played 36.6 minutes a game. That's a lot. That is really a lot. So there's that. I like, from what I saw on the film, offensively, the way that they used him, he got microwave scorer kind of game to him. If y'all remember Marcus Thornton, that's who he reminds me of. He might be related to him. I haven't looked that up, but he reminds me a lot of Marcus Thornton, former Houston Rocket, by the way. Reminds me a lot of Marcus Thornton. He can make all kind of shots. But he really seems to like the mid range, and he can move off the ball and shoot as a movement shooter. He doesn't have to have the ball off the dribble, and he doesn't have to be a standstill. He can do all of it. He seems like he can score from. He likes the mid range, but he can score from everywhere. And one of the things I didn't really like is I didn't really see a lot of rim frequency, but it looked like he's a pretty good finisher when he does decide he want to go all the way there. So there's that. Free throws, I don't know, whatever 170 is divided by 34. Let's do that quick math right quick while we live. Actually, one, what's that? 170 divided by 34. So 5 free throws a game in college in 36 minutes. Cool. That's all right. I don't know how that's gonna translate to the NBA. So there's that. And also, I'm not gonna expect the same uber efficiency to translate immediately to the NBA, even though he is an older player coming out of college, simply because there's gonna be an adjustment period where he gotta get used to all of these uh, bigger, stronger, rangier defenders that he's gonna be dealing with at the next level. Excited to see what happens with him in summer league, though. Passing wise, well, let's get this straight. I don't think he's like a real point guard. Like if somebody is expecting him to come in and replace Fred VanVleet, you got another thing coming. He passes the ball, but he's not a guy I think you want running the offense. At least not from what I'm seeing right now. I even saw some people give him a Jalen Brunson comparison. That's bad. That's terrible. That don't make any sense. But we'll see. I mean, it could be very wrong, and I'll be very happy with that if he ends up turning into, a Jalen Brunson kind of guy. He does have some craft to his game. He's very sturdy, very strong defensively. Man, he competes defensively. Like he seems like a dog defensively. I don't know how that's going to translate with quicker, twitchier guards at the next level, but I like what I'm seeing. Effort-wise, he moves his feet, I think, pretty decently. I think the hips and the screen navigation probably could be, probably could use some work. But I do like what I see defensively. I think in time, especially under Ime Udoka, I don't even think there's going to be something to worry about. I think now let's see how. I think what the plan is for him. He's probably people thinking Fred VanVleet. Get that out of here. I think the plan is for him to replace like a Aaron Holiday. I don't know what the thing is going to be with Aaron Holiday. I don't know if he stays. I don't know if he goes. I don't know what that's going to look like. But think more Aaron Holiday than Fred VanVleet. Both ends, like a guy who's serviceable as a backup guard, combo guard kind of guy. I would be very interested to find out if he gives Reed Shepherd a push. I don't think he is. I think Reed Shepherd's potential is just still so high. I think it's going to be hard to deal with that. But I think what he's going to end up doing is pushing him at practice, pushing Reed Shepherd at practice and getting him used to playing against more physical defenders like that. And I think that'll be good for him and healthy for him. On the other end, Bruce Thornton, I don't know how he's going to be able to handle NBA defensive pressure. I don't, especially bringing the ball up the court and trying to run point full time. I don't know how that's going to look. And also, y'all know me, man. I'm very process oriented, and I think structure. I think big picture. I think architecturally. I don't just look at simple numbers. I look at how the numbers are being achieved. The way that they use Bruce Thornton, we don't do none of that. We don't do none of that. We finna have this man doing broccoli pick and rolls with Alperen going and Jabari and whoever the hell else, and that's gonna be it. Now he can work. He can work the pick and roll. Look like he can work the pick and roll a little bit. I don't really like his passing out of the pick and roll too much. It looked like at Ohio State they ran a lot of empty sets, like empty corners and stuff like that for him, and he could make that pass, that simple read like that. But then he like next level defensive manipulation. I didn't really see a lot of that in this highlight package. But that doesn't mean that he can't develop that, and it could just be the scheme that they ran for him. But I did see some reads that he did miss in favor of a mid-range shot. I didn't really see a lot of wiggle to get to the rim and finish through contact. I didn't really see a lot of that. I really just saw a lot of being a mid-range demon and movement shooting. It looks like that's where his bread and butter is going to be made at, and which is fine. I think he's going to be one of them guys where how he's used is going to determine however successful he's going to be in the NBA level. But these are just my quick thoughts. Good job, Rafael Stone, for getting off your ass and trying a little something here. I know you could have gone. There's two ways they could have gone. They could have gone high upside. I really liked Trevon Brazile out of Arkansas, and I also like Malik Thomas out of Arkansas. But Bruce Thornton seems to be an analytics darling, and that's one of the things that Rafael Stone in the front office like to go after in the draft. But Bruce Thornton does seem like he might be an Ime Udoka kind of guy with the way that he plays, defense, toughness, rebounding. God, dog. We'll see. Let's let it play out. We're not gonna crap all over it right now. We're gonna let it play out, get some more information. But initial thoughts, I'm intrigued. Just think it's gonna come down to how he's used and how much playing time he gets. He's probably gonna come out, playing for the Vipers at first. Summer League could look good. It could look bad. Also interested to see how the Summer League ends up playing out, how the roster shapes out for Summer League. A lot of interesting stuff going on, man, but we'll see. Let's let the process play out before we formulate strong opinions with half information. Anyway, it's your man's AK Infinity. Follow me on Twitter /X at AK Infinity_VBS. This is the Rikers Propaganda Channel. Don't be a hater your whole life. Like, subscribe if you feel like it. Talk crap in the comments. I don't care. Holla at you.
Put it in